So please give a warm welcome to Alexandra Aspenberg Traum.
Money, money, money.
Morning.
Must be funny in the rich man's world.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you to all the speakers, to Cornelius for preparing the ground so that I can now build on what has been said and what was so valuable also yesterday, the whole day. I would like to share a little story with you. I recently had a seminar in Vienna. I'm Austrian. And I had little time on a Saturday evening to do the shopping. And I ran down to the supermarket and I packed in what I could get. It was late, it was 10 to 5, shops close at 5. And when I had everything in these 2 bags, I realized I had no money on me. So there was a huge queue. And while I was looking at my bag, thinking, what do I do now? There's a woman coming out of the queue with her purse, handing the purse to the lady at the counter, and she says, please take what is needed. Everybody was puzzled in the queue. I thought, my goodness, that was a whole shopping. And I looked at her, and she insisted. She said, please, do take what is needed. It was about 70 euros or something. So I asked her, could I bring this back to you next week? I will be back. And she said, no, please, give me the possibility to make you this gift. So something happened immediately between her and me, and I still feel it when I'm thinking back to this event. And then I left, I waved at her, she waved at me, and I had the feeling that we connected. We had concluded a friendship. Just by this. I didn't hear from her. So this is an example of wanting to share with you what I am working on and what I'm working with. And I think we probably all agree that there is enough money in the world. But what do we not have enough of? And Cornelius pointed it out in the positive economy, and all speakers spoke about generosity and love. And they spoke about kindness. Is there something that we are not conscious of that lies behind money? Where money is a wall, where we think money is something or is not something, where we believe, where we have patterns and dependencies, belief systems, structures. Actually a wall where money stands in front of something that we actually realize that we are so much longing for. And this example can illustrate what we are so much longing for. And I tell you, I think I found out it is to become, not to be and become a human being. Did you actually realize that the human being has the word human? Human, to become human. We are not yet human. We have to become human. It is about humanness. That we do not have enough of, because money hinders the sight. So when we started with Filiana, I'm the founder of Filiana in beginning of 2013. We had done extensive research and surveys to find out what are these counterforces, what are these shadows that hinder us to have a good and healthy relationship with money. So we asked people questions like, what situation did you come into? What was your given situation? Were you coming in a family with a lot of money, with little money? How was money handled in your family? What did you yourself take on? What did you observe? What did you imitate? What do you still live today? Do you feel you can be honest about it? Do you feel you have a lot to hide? Can you be transparent? All these questions. And I can tell you, with the questions, do you also have experiences of giving money? Do you actually really also give money, just like this woman did? Outside of your family, where some generosity can come back to you, where you can feel that you are connected, like Nipun said yesterday, you connect yourself. And the evaluation of these surveys and these many interviews that we did showed that there was an enormous imprisonment, I would call it. People captured in their beliefs, in their inheritances, not knowing how captured they were, only after the workshops, the practices then we offered, and then people knew, oh gosh, how was I stuck? So what we did, we developed experiential learning practices to so that we could free ourselves from what we didn't even know. And I give you an example. We started pilot projects in companies, but also across the whole civil society sectors. We started with a pilot project, the so-called income based on needs. So if you think that we have a big longing to actually be seen by each other, so that I can actually say to you, who are you? Who are you really? What is your search? What do you really want to work with? Are you actually working with what you want to work in? This we also found out that most people weren't working in what they really wanted to do, what they were burning for. So we did these pilot projects about an income based on needs. Imagine an extra budget is given in your department, to your department in the company. You're about 12, 14 people. You sit around the table, and the only task you have is share this budget, not equally, but according to needs, to your situations, to your economic conditions, to what your situation is. So you need to first, maybe the first time that you start to be interested in your colleagues. You may have worked for 20 years with your colleagues, not knowing what their situation is because you had your normal salary. You know, you can be totally anonymous. You don't know anything about them. All of a sudden, there is a chance to be interested. And there is a budget, let's say 100,000 kronas on the table. And now you find out, you ask Elena, for example, well, how's your situation right now? And she tells you she's got 4 kids, husband just left, the mother is ill, and she's actually not, economically, she's really very tight. Next one says, I've just inherited, I'm single, I actually have good potential. Here you are, I give you half of my share, and so forth. And you find out about the situations of people, and it is fantastic, because actually if you allow this to happen, we find out that we don't always have to help each other with money. We can also help each other by contacts, networks. You may be in need because you're close to a burnout. You may be in need of a wellness holiday. I can offer you the hut in the mountain I have. All of a sudden, there's an incredible friendship base shining and lighting because we are connecting ourselves really. And with money. So it's not a therapeutic circle. It is with money, and that always holds it so that we are actually, we can stay on a level where we understand it's about your situation, it's about who you are, it's about seeing you and being seen, of course. It's an exchange. So I personally took hundreds of people since 2013 through these experiential learning practices where we do exactly that, but where we do it also, we learn individually how we can change our habits, and then we learn it also in groups, and we do these, I call them experiential learning practices, continuously and persistently, and the resonance, I can tell you, is fantastic, it's very good. I'm thrilled, and now I'm in the situation that I have to really train more trainers so that we can spread it and really bring it amongst people so that we free ourselves, because one thing, I think greed and growth are very close together. There is some familiarity between greed and growth. And if we understand why, where does greed come from, you know? Where is the fear coming from? Maybe I can trust a little bit more so that all these things, it's about us. It's about our future and the future of our children. And so this is what I now want to contribute. This is what the workshop is going to be about in the afternoon. And please feel welcome and invited. And don't be sad if you don't find a spot. Go on the homepage of Filiana and you'll find the other dates. And I'll be back in Sweden too. Thank you very much.
Alexandra. And like Alexandra's workshop, it's fully booked, but like you said, you have to come back again. there's a
Yes.
necessity for it.
But-
But
yes.
it's at 2 o'clock, and should they think about
Yes, it is at 2 o'clock. Very important, please, that everyone who attends needs to bring himself, herself, between 10 and 100 euros or between 100 and 1,000 kronas. This is an amount that you will not lose if you don't want to, but you can freely give for somebody else's situation. So we practice this, what I just mentioned.
Thank you so much.
And it will be going for 3.5 to 4 hours, so it needs a bit of
And you'll have
which to
a
sit.
short break in between just.
short break in between.
Thank you
you.
very much.